like a month later, she came back to me and said, Avery, can we date? She was like, I really like you. I want to try and make this work. And in my head, I was like, oh, shit.
Hi, Cecil.
It's Azura.
And I'm Jermaine.
And welcome back to another episode of Calamities.
Podcast. Today we have a very special guest with us. It's Bob the Builder.
The only thing I built is a wall around Jermaine's problems.
Oh, wow. I thought you were going to say the only thing you built is friendships because that's what we're talking about today.
Yeah, friendships with Hazel and Azura.
Oh,
Can you introduce yourself, Bob?
Oh, all right, Bob. My name's Avery. I'm a radio DJ on 987, and sadly, Jermaine's radio partner.
Like, what did I do to you to deserve this treatment?
I think it all started back in 1st April 2022 when our boss told us that I'm going to be paired with you. And I was like, bane of my existence.
Wow.
Right there and then.
Okay.
And that, my friends, is a sign of platonic friendship.
That's
That
right. Yes. You know, people are constantly debating about platonic friendships, especially between, I guess, different genders, male and female friendships.
Like, can they really just be friends?
Yeah, wouldn't someone fall for the other person or someone develop feelings for the other person? They're always debating about that. Today we're going to explore that, and that's why we have Bob on this episode.
You know what? People are going to get confused if you keep doing that.
Avery's on this episode. Can guys and girls just be friends? What do you guys think?
No.
And, oh my
Oh,
God.
no, I'm kidding. Yes.
Okay,
Okay,
3, 2, 1. Yes or no? Okay,
Okay,
3, 2, 1.
Yes! Yeah!
Oh, so you think it's a yes
yeah,
as well?
of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if not, then this would be a problem.
Yes.
It already is a problem, but anyway, platonic. This is what it means, okay? Platonic friendship. It's intimate and affectionate,
But non-sexual.
non-sexual.
Okay,
But
so it
there's
can
some-
be affectionate
Yeah, it can be affectionate.
and intimate?
Yes, intimacy, is a very wide term, right? A definition of platonic friendship is a friendship between two people who could, in theory, feel attracted to each other, but decide to keep what they have instead of acting on their feelings.
So is that what between you two now?
No. No, okay,
Silence was definitely...
No, but to be fair, I think there is a level of intimacy
Yeah.
in every
Between
kind
you
of
two.
friendship.
No, I was
Oh, okay. No,
No,
wait, what?
I agree.
That's news?
No,
Okay.
I agree. But I think intimacy and affection is very different. So when you first said it, I was like, Jermaine. Ugh. But then I thought about it and it makes sense. So like, yeah, I think when you talk about intimacy with Jermaine and I, that kind of spans between the conversations that we have. And I think that could mean like, the secrets that we share with each other. Those are intimate secrets to us. But the fact that we share it between each other, that's the intimacy that we share. Right?
What about affection?
So the affection that I have for Jermaine is
That's so sweet.
I really don't want to say this anymore. I really
No,
don't want to
please,
say this.
please.
The affection I have for Hazel is no, yeah. I think it's different because I see Jermaine. I think we see each other as siblings. So you have that kind of affection for her when you see her in like a bad situation. You always want to be there to make sure that she's okay. So you want to give her that hug and make sure that she doesn't cry. And whenever she cries, I feel like, oh, like what do I do? And you want to always be there for her. But that's like 10% of the time. 90% is like just leave. Go.
Can I just say that, like, because I know the friendship between the two of them, right? Honestly, the number of times people ask me about them.
Asking
And
what?
the number of times that people have tried to bet with me. Because I'll be like, no, 100% no.
No
and they'll
what?
be like,
Like they're not together.
Oh.
and people have tried to bet with me. And I'll be like, make it 100. No, hold on. Make it a G. Like, I am so confident, right?
Yeah.
So you're better not it up.
Yeah, she's got some bets going on.
Don't me
We
over.
split 50-50.
How long is the duration of
Yeah.
this bet? Not that it makes a difference. Not that
I
it makes
think
a
it's gonna
difference.
change. I think it's gonna change.
No, I'm just asking so that you can get your money, then we can
I've,
split.
I've always refused to bet because there's nothing to bet on. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's true. It's true. I think the odds are not really in their favor.
It's
but
in my favor.
It's in your favor.
But you know what? I can tell like how affectionate like both of you are towards each other. I mean, in terms of like radio partners and friends as well. Sometimes, when we go out, I can tell that, Avery is always constantly looking after Jermaine. And that is the affection between friends.
Yeah.
And that's
I'd
because
say.
she can't take care of herself.
No, okay.
When we're out.
Can I give an example?
Sure. Okay.
So we were both at this festival called Zouk Out together.
Okay.
And I had to send a friend home because they were very, very drunk. Okay. So I was feeling a lot of because I was very stressed out trying to take care of everyone, right? And I had to leave alone and then come back alone. So I was feeling a lot of anxiety because there's a lot of people and I don't do very well with people. So I texted Avery and I said, because he stayed there, right? To make sure everyone else was okay. So I said, yo, can you come get me from the entrance? Because I'm really not feeling it tonight. Like, I'm feeling very, very anxious about the whole situation. And he was like, no worries, I'll be there for you. And he literally waited for me at the entrance when I came back and like held my hand, brought me all the way back in because I was feeling so anxious. So yeah, I will never forget that.
Yeah, that was 20 minutes of my time that I will not get back from Bangkok.
He says that, but it was a very sweet gesture that I might not have done for him, but
Okay,
But yes.
so question.
Yeah.
If either of you were attached today, do you think your other halves would mind each other?
Wow.
Well, I think that's really tricky.
So it's, wow. It's a tough one.
Right.
Be
Jermaine,
straight
you
up.
want to go first?
I think if my other half weren't okay with the level of friendship that we have as radio partners and also as genuine friends, then that is someone that is probably a little bit too insecure for me to be with.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think Jermaine's partners have all been okay with
what?
me. And I think what Jermaine says is true. Like, it's good because they're not worried that I'm a threat, because I'm genuinely not. I see Jermaine as like a Jabba the Hutt. So it's kind of different, But yeah, I think it's something that really needs to be worked on, because people don't understand that this is something that we didn't choose for the both of us. Like work partners is not something that we chose. And becoming such close friends, like that in itself wasn't something like, we talked about and be like, let's be super close friends. It just kind of happened because the two of us were on the same level from the very beginning, and it just really, really clicked. And I think it was just difficult for people to understand that.
I think your partner needs to have trust that this is strictly platonic. If they can't take your word for it, then that foundational trust is just not there.
Okay, so let's say two of you enjoy making TikToks with each other.
Yep.
And sometimes, the challenges can be a bit intimate.
Yes.
Physically.
Yes, physically. What if your partners were not okay with that? Would you stop the TikToks?
Actually, to be honest, there was this TikTok that we did, right? Where I was on his back while he was in a push-up plank position.
Yes, I remember
And then he had to
that.
do like push-up. So obviously our bodies are sandwiched like this, right? And there were a lot of comments about that. A lot of comments saying oh, aren't you still together with who and who? This is so inappropriate. But when I talked to my then partner about it, he actually said, I don't think there's an issue with that. In fact, I think y'all should be even closer.
Oh.
Just for the show. I
So-
was like, whoa.
I think this is a
Yeah.
very different perspective, because coming from a guy, I've met her ex-partner, right? And he knows that Jermaine and I are truly just platonic friends. He doesn't see me as a threat. There was nothing concerning about me being Jermaine's friend. It was completely fine. He was like, y'all should be closer because he knows it's good for the job, right? And that's from one guy saying this about another guy in that partnership, in that friendship.
Do you think it's different for girls?
I would think it's different for girls.
Okay.
Because I'm surrounded by 3 women. I'm afraid to say this. I think
Hazel's about to beat you
Yeah.
up.
calm down. I think when it comes to women, they might be a little bit more insecure when the guy is the one involved, right? Whereas they feel that maybe the guy can't control their impulses a little bit more.
Oh.
You see where I'm coming from? So it's
Okay, so they don't trust the guy.
Yeah,
It's not that they don't trust the girl.
exactly. This is just my perspective,
Okay.
right? What I think is that they think, the guy can't control his impulses, and sometimes, if I'm insecure about this person being with this person so close, then that's going to be an issue.
Well, I mean, we've all definitely had platonic friendships with someone of the opposite sex, right?
For sure.
Okay, Hazy and Azura, how certain are you guys that it wouldn't have evolved into something more?
For me, it's because I think I draw my boundaries very clear.
Okay.
So, how people talk about oh, they used to be friends and then they fell in love, that sort of thing. Those that work out and decide to be in a relationship sort of thing. I cannot see that happening. I feel like once you're my friend, you're my friend.
But all relationships start from being friends, no?
Yeah?
No leh,
You can fall in love with a friend.
I cannot.
Okay.
Okay, so you're saying all your relationships must be love at first sight.
No lah. I mean, unless it's V, we've talked about this one.
Wait, what?
No. Usually, if you're interested in someone, you already sort of from the get-go, there's that intention. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's not we're here to be friends, we hang out, we're fucking kick each other, fuck you, and then after that we fall in love. I cannot.
Okay, on that point, right? Have you ever been in that situation where you never had any kind of sexual attraction to somebody, and then you just out of nowhere feel some sort of a different feeling at all?
Never.
Really? Wow.
It will come.
Has that happened to you where your friendship was challenged by sexual attraction?
Actually, not really as well.
Oh, really?
I feel like I'm the kind of person who, if I take you as a friend, you are like solely a friend.
Correct.
And if I feel something more towards you, I will immediately take a step back.
Huh?
You won't explore that option?
I will not.
Oh.
I'm someone who, I don't just rely on first impressions or like how handsome this person is. I must take some time to get to know this person. And if I feel like our personalities don't click as lovers, then I immediately will take a step back.
Or you just
to
see this
ensure
person
that
as a
we
friend.
remain as just friends.
Okay,
Ah.
so why do you think there are people out there who feel like it is impossible for a female and a male to be strictly just friends?
Actually-
you know what I mean?
You know, there was a study done about this.
Oh, hey!
Please let me. Okay. At the University of Wisconsin is a study on cross-sex friendships. Okay. The results of the study gave a bit of confirmation that basically a friendship between males and females is almost quite impossible. These are the reasons why.
Okay.
Men are usually more attracted to their female friends than women are. What was this?
That was my
Avery?
point. That was my point I was trying to make.
Oh, okay.
Right?
You're
That
very attracted to us, man.
not you in particular. No, I dropped the finger. It's a family-friendly show.
Yeah.
That's our relationship story. I see his face there.
But you're saying that men, because of their urges,
Yeah, no, so
Or-
that was my point that I was making before, right? That it's a perception, right? That we are the ones that always will be attracted to the women. They'll always try and make the advances. We'll always be the ones to, make the first move and be like, oh, I have feelings for you. Or when you're out in a club, I'm gonna be the one to hold your hand, and I'm gonna be the one to touch you and stuff like that.
do not hold my hand.
I don't want to. I need to
But
wash
he-
my
he
hand
just
10
said-
times after that.
Yeah.
No, I held her shirt like that. Then I walked her like this.
I was barely wearing anything. Okay. But men are also more likely to believe that their female friends are attracted to them. So men are more delusional.
Egoistic.
No, I think it's part of the ego, the male ego,
Okay.
right?
So it's like, I'm just being nice to you and you're just flattering yourself?
Maybe men are just stupid.
No. Hey, you're representing men here on this stage. Can you not say that?
She was like, yeah.
Hey, but sorry, on that note, can I just say that actually makes sense? Because like in my experience as well, that happens to me.
Was it because you spoke to them in a certain way and then they thought that, oh, you're
No,
making
hey, let me
advances?
put this out there because I know what this is about.
Okay.
And she's strictly platonic with these
Ah,
anonymous people in her lives.
okay.
And they have somehow created a reality in their heads where this anonymous person thinks that they should be together or they should have some sort of romantic connection.
Which brings me to the next point of this study.
Yeah.
Most of the women believe that the lack of attraction was mutual.
So men are from
Point proven.
Venus.
No, men are
Women-
from Mars.
Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. On two separate pages, clearly, right?
Is it because we're stupid? Like we can't see the sides? Like what's going on?
I don't know, because when you're in a friendship, right, you're very comfortable with each other. You play, fight, or talk and say a lot of things that are of a higher level of secrecy. Then the man might find that to be like flirting or
Or
advancing.
if you like reply them a bit faster, they may think that, I'm very important in their hearts. That's why they're replying me a bit faster.
Wait. Is this why I don't get replies? Whoa!
Who never reply you?
Jermaine!
Oh yeah,
No, but that
that's
one
true.
normal lah.
I don't reply everyone. Yeah, but that's a lie. Your phone is blowing up every day. The study has concluded that human relationship dynamics are very, very complicated, right? I mean, it doesn't serve as a proof that you can't have cross-sex friendships, but I think the presence of attraction between friends just makes it very complicated, to draw that boundary between friendship and romantic ship.
Romantic shit.
Yeah, new word.
It's romantic shit.
Romance.
So to put it in simple terms, it's not that platonic friendships are impossible. It's just that it can be extremely hard to maintain.
Yeah.
But I don't feel it this way.
You have a lot of guy friends,
Yeah,
Haley.
plenty.
How do you make sure that they don't fall in love with you?
No, for example, my relationship and like my working relationship between Zeliang and I is very natural. We're just friends outside of work and we're just colleagues when we're in this conti, much like Jermaine and Avery. And we don't put in like extra effort to like keep things this way, It just is.
It's a mutual understanding that it's
Yes.
platonic.
Plus, I think we both understand that, given our personalities, it's a bit impossible for us to be lovers.
Oh,
Yeah, I feel like
you've actually thought about that.
of course, so many people ask me, hey, you and Zeliang, got chance or not? I'm sure both of you have gotten this question like multiple times. But to me, it's just like, no. So, I don't know. Do you feel like you're putting in a lot of effort to keep this friendship platonic?
I don't think we put in effort to keep it platonic. It's it's been the way it is. You know? But
That's why.
I think the difference is that we put in effort to make the friendship stronger.
Oh.
Okay.
I feel like the both of us talk about it a lot, and I think that in itself makes the platonicness more platonic.
It's
like
more,
the level of platony.
The platoning it becomes very
Platonism.
platonic.
It's very
It's like
plated.
cement.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you guys ever experienced any difficulty in maintaining that balance in opposite gendered friendships? This is what we're talking about, right? Especially for you. I think for you, because you have a lot of guys. You're like a guy's girl. Wait, what is
right,
bro
right,
girl.
right,
You're a
right.
bro girl.
Yeah, a bro girl.
Your face.
Yeah, that day my friend had this theory, by the way.
Oh.
He was like, this shit happens to you all the time because bro girls always kena one.
Wait,
Oh.
what define bro girl?
Bro girl is someone whose friends consist of like a lot of guys. You feel very comfortable around.
Yeah, like sometimes you
guy friends.
think she's a guy also, you know?
I always think you're a guy.
That,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
see?
That's what a bro girl is.
Exactly.
So because you're a bro girl, statistically, you would find yourself in more of these situations where potentially your guy friends would like fall in love with you or something. Then what happens if let's say a guy friend does fall in love with you?
It's happened a couple of times in my life.
Tell us about them.
Tell us about the most
Tell us
exciting
about
one.
it.
There are no exciting ones. It just always shocks me. And
Oh,
then I
you don't see
always-
it coming.
No. People say I'm stupid, but I really don't.
Okay.
Because for me, I treasure the friendship. And I would like to keep it that way. The fact that you're coming forward to say it, right, is already for me a bit like, then you're taking your chance or you're gambling on things changing already.
Okay, that's interesting.
But I'm not a fan of that because I really like the way things are.
Okay.
So I will put my poker face and I'll be like,
Like you pretend to be stupid.
no, I'll just be like, okay. I pretend to listen, but inside I'm like, what the f? Why the f? I'll smack you one time.
Okay, but will you delay your responses to them? Like,
Oh.
will you stop replying them as fast or as quickly? Or start showing signals that you're not into them?
Right. Does it
No,
then
that's
affect-
what I don't want to do. You know what I mean?
Huh?
She wants to pretend to be normal.
so you don't want to lose the friend, basically.
Correct.
But aren't you afraid of leading them on?
no, so I make it quite clear
Okay.
that
You're not my type.
no lah, cannot say like that.
I'm not
Why?
into you.
But
I'm
actually
not
a bit
into it.
funny also, cause like if you're my friend, you confirm know I got pattern one. Then you already know you don't fit the pattern.
Oh.
That's why I say, it doesn't matter if it's a man or woman. In matters of the heart, right? Especially if you're like head over heels in love with this person, you want to believe that this person could love you back.
Okay, so many years ago, I had this really close friend. One day we were all out. So there's a group of us, you see. I came home. A while later, I get a message. Like I just saw you, and then I got a message. It hit me out of nowhere because I literally had no clue. And then suddenly it said, actually, don't you think we would be good together? The only reason we're not is because it's better for us to keep the friendship. And then I was like, hold up.
But what if somebody came up to you and said, like, hey, Zura, I have feelings for you, but I don't want to ruin the friendship. Would you still respect that?
Okay, so that means you're just telling me,
Correct.
but you don't want to do anything about it.
Because I know that you as a friend won't want that to happen.
Understand?
That's what that friend did for her, right?
No, I think that friend was trying to shoot his shot.
Oh, okay. Well,
Shot missed.
you missed 100% of the shot that you don't take.
correct.
So
True.
just take the shot.
She's right.
Yeah.
Okay, but question. So, if you know that you don't want to do anything about it, but by me knowing that information,
It will
things
shift
might
the
already
dynamics.
change.
Yep.
So
Agree.
why was it necessary for you to let me know?
I don't know. Maybe people just want to put it out there, get something off their chest.
I know, but then if you are respectful to your female friend who you think will feel uncomfortable about this, it's about the motivations of saying that, right? Did you say that, like Avery said, to really shoot your shot?
Or perhaps deep down in his heart, he felt that you might have felt the same way,
Yeah.
which was why he was trying to find out by sending that text.
So have any friendships ended because of their attraction to you?
Yes.
And how do you feel about that?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm someone who it takes a lot for me to say I'm done with this and I'm walking. Because once I walk. And I walk like really fast and really far. So it takes a lot for me to reach that point. I feel like there must have been more involved aside from just this is how I feel.
I get that though. Like there was a friend that I used to have as well, like a really, really close friend. And we kind
Female
of
friend?
we kind of grew up together. And then after a long time we reconnected and then we went out, and then she kind of came up to me. Like, we were going out for a while, and I realized that it wasn't going to work. And then we stopped talking, and then like a month later, she came back to me and said, Avery, can we date? Like, she came up to me and said it, like, she was like, can we date? Like, I really like you, and, you know, I want to try and make this work. And in my head, I was like, oh, shit. Like,
oh no.
I was like, our families know each other, and like,
Oh,
we
that's
were
tricky.
really, really close friends.
Could make for like a fairy tale movie, you know?
My mom was very happy about it, but I was like, I don't want to lose this person as a friend. And in that whole situation, we're not friends anymore.
Oh, but how did you respond to her? I think that's key.
You ghosted her.
No, I said at that very moment, I said, let me get a beer. I stood up and I walked to the bar, and what was going to happen?
She talked to you face to face.
She came to find me after work.
Oh my god.
Because when I was a
thought it was
bartender.
via text.
No, she came to find me
You
after
were a
work.
bartender!
That is not the point of this story. Sorry.
You bartender!
So she's bold to do that.
Yeah,
No, and
I
I-
mean, it must have taken a lot.
I really, really
courage,
respect it.
yeah.
Right?
Right.
And
And
I
you just broke her heart.
don't say that.
Yeah.
No, I handled it. I was very young, right? And I don't think I handled it well.
Okay.
When she told me that, the first thing I said was, let me go and get a beer. I walked to the bar, got a beer, kind of drank half of it at the bar, left it at the table, walked back,
Yeah.
and I was like, I need to think about this.
Oh, it's never a
Right?
good sign.
And she said, sure, like, let me know. Kind of let it simmer and fester for like a week and a half, right? And then she texted me and she was like, hey, do you want to meet for lunch? And I was like, yeah, let's meet for lunch. And then it kind of delayed, and then we just like, it burnt out. It
You
fizzled
just
out.
left
Just
it
died
as
down.
a...
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that situation just proves to you that you shouldn't try to be friends with Avery if you're a girl.
No
Oh,
lah.
I am friends with all three of you, and sadly, the closest to you. So
No, but because of that, a lot of the people that tune into 987,
yep.
they ship us. They always comment on our videos. They always say ship. Then I'll reply them sampan. Yeah, that's my standard reply.
Okay, but honestly though,
Yeah.
what do you guys think about all these like shipping comments?
I think when I first started, and like G and I got closer, and we posted videos on TikTok, and when it first started, I was like, my question to her was like, oh no, are you okay with it? And her response to me was, huh? Yeah? Why? What's wrong? Nothing. What? And I was like, okay.
Okay, but here's the thing. Okay,
Yeah.
sometimes, especially when you have like a friend group sort of thing, sometimes you don't even think about it. Then when people start poking,
Oh.
they start plotting ideas into your head. You know what I mean? Sometimes you
And
never thought of it.
No,
It's
I'm
inception.
Yeah.
You mean?
I'm
Okay.
sure both of them have been through that and considered that option already.
actually, you know what? We have had this conversation. We had this conversation saying that it was actually perfect timing because when we first started the show, G was in a committed relationship, I was in a committed relationship.
Okay.
Right? And we said that if anything were supposed to happen, which it didn't, to be clear, it would have happened in the first few months if we were both single.
Right.
But because we were both attached and because it kind of just was very professional at the very beginning,
Okay.
that foundation was there.
Basically, lines were drawn.
Exactly.
Understand. So
Yeah.
if we were single when we had first met, you think that there's a higher probability that something might have happened.
Probability, it's not
No, I think
saying
it's
that
completely
it will.
fair.
Understand?
It's completely
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
to
I
say
agree
that.
as well.
Okay.
Like the
Yeah.
state of mind and your status when you
Yeah.
first meet each other. I
Correct.
think it's
Yeah.
important.
Yeah,
Correct.
but I think that's why it was very clear, and that's what I mean by Jermaine and I have a very, very like when we first started, we already said that there's not going to be any secrets between us.
Okay.
Right.
So, question.
Okay.
Let's say listeners out there are just like the two of you, friends, colleagues, okay, whatever. What if one of them eventually develops feelings for the other?
Whoa.
How should you manage that? I'm not saying the two of you, but perhaps they are as close as the both of you are.
Well, as colleagues, it's a little bit tricky because you guys have to work with each other and see each other every day. Please consider very, very, very seriously before you try and shoot your shot or before you try and do anything. Firstly, you guys have a friendship, then you have a working relationship. Are you sure you want to complicate that with romance? Or is it just a crush? Is it just something that will go away in a few months? Because sometimes you develop these crushes for people, right? Then after a few months, you're like, ugh, this guy is quite ick, you know. But from the start, I already thought Avery was ick, so there's no issue there. But yeah, what I'm saying is give it time and don't act on impulse.
Yeah, I agree. I feel that saying "don't eat where you shit"
Correct.
Oh.
is very, very key.
Don't shit where you eat.
Potato, tomato, tomato is the same
Shut
thing.
up.
Oh, yeah, but basically, I think from what Hazy's trying to say is that if you have friends this close, it brings it back to kind of like Azura's point as well, which is that if you respect that friendship enough, I think you would know what that person's boundaries are.
True.
Yeah.
But you know what's one really, really huge blessing of having such a close guy friend like Avery is that I can go into the male psyche and understand guys better. Like sometimes I'll get a text from a guy, right? Immediately I'll show it to Avery and he will craft a response for me. He'll be like, okay, when a guy says this, right, this is what they mean. Then we will sit there and while we're off air, we sit there and analyze texts from guys and girls.
So now you know.
Yeah.
You text G, maybe it's Avery who's replying.
Oh, wow.
You're basically dating me.
That's really disturbing.
Okay, but
yeah.
let's talk about like why one party might develop feelings and think that they should do something about it.
Mixed signals.
I don't think so. Honestly, I
Why?
don't think so. Because I think in situations like we've talked about and all that, right? Most of those situations did not have mixed signals. But I think it boils down to because when you think that you're just friends, you sort of get very personal, you get very natural in yourself because you're not trying to impress, you're not trying to do anything, you know what I mean? And then sometimes people might read that as, wow, like the conversation's so good. Or like, wow, like, you know, we're so open to each other. Or like,
Well, you know what that means? That means that at the very baseline of it, one person already had a bigger attraction to the other person. For
Correct.
something like that to develop. So it's not something that just comes out of nowhere. It's something that was always bubbling under the surface. That's what I feel.
I'm not sure that sometimes there always has to be something bubbling beneath for you to develop feelings or for you to develop sexual attraction to somebody. I think it could literally just be something that sparks like out of nowhere. And it could be from a conversation, from the way somebody reacts to something. And I don't think there has to be something deeper than that. I feel like sometimes it could just actually happen. And I'm not saying that it's going to happen with Jermaine because it never will.
Hey, never say never.
Wow.
Check back in 5 years.
Justin, that you?
And one less lonely girl. We actually have some stories, some very juicy stories from our producers.
Oh,
Okay.
Yes, both with good and bad turnouts.
Yeah, good and bad.
To
So
watch the faces of whose stories these
Yes.
are.
yeah.
Okay,
This
okay.
one, there was a time when I had a male best friend and we caught feelings.
Interns in different departments. Who is this?
No one.
Okay.
Interns in different departments, so sort of like co-workers, hung out a lot. You know, when you work with each other as an intern, right? You have lunch together, you talk together, you gossip together. You spend a lot of time with each other, and they became the best of friends. But after a while,
We met in school when he was attached to his psycho ex. We had very clear boundaries.
he would do this, like tuck her hair and fix her hair.
The male ego is so big. A lot of times guys don't like rejection.
Well, clearly this episode is going on for way too long, and we have so much tea to spill about each other.
Yeah, mainly Jermaine.
So stay tuned for part 2.
She texted me and she was like, hey, do you want to meet for lunch? And I was like, yeah, let's meet for lunch. And then it kind of delayed, and it
You
fizzled
just
out.
left
Just
it
died
as
down.
that.
Yeah.
Oh.
But she's married now.
Oh, congratulations!
Happy for you. Yeah.
I'm sure he's a better man than Avery.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt.
Don't say that.
Wow.